all started when he was just a week old.
I just noticed a cough. He had like a deep cough, and I was like, oh no, I gotta take him in. They did a test and they're like, yeah, he's RSV positive. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it broke my heart, like it just shattered me.
After he was in the hospital, he also contracted pneumonia. Goodwin says there were times she wasn't sure what would happen.
I just wanted to take the pain from him and just give it to myself because I knew like I could recover from it, but I didn't know if he was going to recover from it.
In this case, her son did recover and is set to be discharged from the hospital soon. She cautions other parents to simply be extra observant. Doctors say symptoms of RSV include fever, coughing, wheezing, and general trouble breathing.
Who knows? I mean, if I didn't, I don't want to think worst case scenario, but I'm just glad I did catch it early, but definitely look out for those symptoms.
Now, Goodwin says the extended hospital stay definitely put a strain on their family in many ways, including financially. They've started a GoFundMe to help cover the cost of their little one's medical expenses. You can find a link on our website, 10news.com.
Vice President Kamala Harris stood in for President Biden during a Veterans Day memorial at Arlington National Cemetery. The vice president laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, which is dedicated to deceased service members whose remains have not been identified. She then delivered a traditional speech praising veterans.
And on Veterans Day, we come together as a nation then to express our profound gratitude for all you have done and continue to do. Here on hallowed ground, we also remember those who gave their lives for our nation. We remember our service members who have not yet returned and their families, and we reaffirm our commitment to bring home all those missing in action.
Those who have served our country are being honored all across San Diego today as part of Veterans Day.
That includes at one local VFW where there is a party being thrown for our vets. ABC 10 News anchor Wale Aliyu joins us live from there. How are things going, Wale?
Well, ain't no party like a Veterans Day party, because the Veterans Day party don't stop, Kimberly. So we are here at VFW Post 7420 here in Barrio Logan. I've been speaking with some of the veterans here, hearing their stories. I gotta tell you something, different. Everybody has a different reason why they got in the military, why they stayed in the military. Their stories are precious, they're heartfelt, they're warm, and we're going to hear some of those stories in a little bit. In fact, we're going to speak with the commander of this post, but I want to get you caught up in some of the other big Veterans Day headlines happening. There was actually plenty of things to do aboard the USS Midway today. The Salute to Service Festival is considered one of the biggest Veterans Day events in San Diego. There was music, kids' activities, contests, and food for all. The event was also free for all active, reserve, National Guard, and veterans, along with their families. Now, all veterans and their families got free admission to the Midway Museum today. There's also a military art exhibit that started today and will go through the weekend. Joining us now is Livia Jimenez Lazaro. She's a commander here at this VFW. How are you doing today, Libby?
I'm doing amazing.
Thanks for being here. Let's talk Veterans Day. Tell me why it's important for you and all the vets here just to celebrate and really be honored on this day.
Veterans Day is very important to us because it is a day where we can honor each other's service, sacrifice, and tell each other thank you. And, and then kind of let the rest of the world thanks us as well, because we're always moving and stuff, and that day we actually just take a step back and just honor our own service and honor the service of the rest of our comrades.
And this specific post is important because we were talking about some of the things that you guys do here specifically, and the work you do for deported veterans. That's a specific niche. Talk to me about that.
So in the 17 months that we've been here, I became commander, and we help get deported veterans back home. We found out about 5 years ago that this was happening. I served in the military for 20 years. I retired. Not once did I hear, take your soldier to finish this paperwork, or even as a senior leader, make sure that everybody's records are taken care of. And I'll say the military teaches us even exactly what side our belt has to face. So finding this out We just, we advocate. We make sure everybody knows that there's awareness that we have deported veterans out there, that we need to change legislation, and we need to get them back home.
Wow, so that's one important niche. I also want to talk to you about another important niche.
Yeah.
You're a woman in the military.
Yes.
There's not a lot of you. In fact, as I look around here, there is some here today, but talk to me about the need for women in the military to be honored and appreciated.
We're also like a small subset. There's only 1% of people that join the military. So less than that is women. And it's not easy to be in the military. We are making strides and changing things, but we're there. And it's important that, that this is what service members look like now. This is what veterans look like now. We all have a preconceived notion of what a veteran is. And this is it right here. Combat tested.
And look good. Livy, we appreciate your time. Thank you for your time and for your service. Most importantly, we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, now we want to go to ABC 10 News reporter Mary Cornell, who met a veteran who is hoping her story will inspire others struggling to find their way.
It was like I was sucker punched.
Melody Alacris thought the military prepared her for just about everything until she found herself on the streets. Even after having served in both the U.S. Army Reserve and the Air Force, she was alone without a place to live, sleeping at SDSU after a job she was relying on fell through.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Melody ended up at a veteran's tent where she learned about an opportunity through the Alpha Project that she calls a life changer.
This is my apartment.
Alpha Lofts was opening, giving more than 50 homeless veterans a place they could call their own.
I just couldn't believe it. It was kind of like I was in a dream. Is this true? I'm actually going to be getting my own apartment.
And Melody's struggle isn't uncommon.
Hey, come on down here and talk to me for a few minutes.
The county's 2022 homeless count data shows out of the more than 8,000 individuals who don't have a permanent place to live, 9% of them are veterans. Melody says the help is there. It's just a matter of using and accepting it.
Do what you have to do to achieve your goals, right? And I'm achieving mine. They may not be as fast as I want, and a lot of people don't have the patience. But I am a very patient person. And I keep going forward. I don't go back.
Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
You guys having a good time? You guys having a good time? Hey, I got all my veterans here waving. Always when you come to Don Diego, they say, listen, we are having a lot of fun here at VFW 7420. Coming up later this hour, Kim and Lindsay, we're going to speak to some of these guys and hear their stories specifically. Back to you guys in the studio.
Can't wait to hear those stories, and they deserve that cheer. Good for them. We're so grateful for each and every one of them in that room and all the rooms throughout San Diego as they are celebrating today, as they should. A San Diego mother looking for answers in the mysterious disappearance of her son.
We really feel that something's wrong, and it's not like him.
The evidence his family is now using to track his whereabouts.
I'm on stage at San Diego's newest entertainment venue. We'll take you behind the scenes as they start selling tickets for their first concert.
And it's been a beautiful day. A little bit warmer today by 4 degrees. I'll show you the next cool down. ABC 10 News is back in 90 seconds.
San Diego really needs a venue this size. San Diego's always had this giant gap.
After years of construction, San Diego's new concert venue is almost ready to open. Tickets went on sale this week for the first show at the Sound. That's the new hotspot at the Del Mar Fairgrounds.
New at 5, ABC 10 News reporter Jeff Lasky shows why the Sound will bring new acts to San Diego.
In a quiet corner of the fairgrounds sits the old off-site wagering hall. Inside is Chris Goldsmith.
The fair has had this building kind of sitting empty for several years.
Now Goldsmith is helping give the building new life, a $17 million conversion to a concert venue. It's a process that took a long time. ABC 10 News first showed you an early rendering 6 years ago. In 2019, we were back during construction. COVID caused delays, but now the building is just about ready. Everything is state-of-the-art.
That's why we like calling it the Sound, because the best thing about this venue is the sound.
Goldsmith would know. He's the president of Belly Up Entertainment, based at the iconic Belly Up Tavern just up the road in Solana Beach. The fairgrounds gave them a 10-year deal to book the shows at the new venue.
Belly Up is like a old VW van, which we love driving around and checking the surf with, and it's just, we're happy as can be. But this is like getting a new rocket ship to fly around in.
The two-story venue can fit up to 1,900 fans for a mostly standing show. It's the kind of size hall that Goldsmith says San Diego desperately needed.
As an artist grows, they kind of run out of places to play until they get big enough to play like the sports arena or the open air theater. So we see a lot of those bands skipping San Diego, and we have for decades.
Now those acts will have a place to play. When the lights come up for the first time, February 3rd, popular reggae star Ziggy Marley will take the stage, and the sound will come alive.
Yep. It's good. I like it.
In Del Mar, Jeff Lasky, ABC 10 News.
That first Ziggy Marley show is already sold out. A second was just added and is on sale now. Goldsmith says several more concerts will be announced in the next few weeks.
It's beginning to feel a lot like winter with the cold weather setting in, and the new season at Big Bear Mountain Resort will be open tomorrow. The resort is open early because of the storms that left more than a foot of snow this week, and the Snow Summit and Bear Mountain Base areas will be up and running on opening day, with more lifts and terrains expected to open soon.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
It's definitely nice to see all that snow. We got some rain earlier this week. We need it.
All beneficial, but you know what really helps at night? Those chilly nights, they really help snowmaking. So they can get those snow machines going at night, and you can have just perfect conditions when you go. So take advantage of it for now. We'll see if this could change. 63 degrees as we look outside. Clear skies over San Diego. Our beautiful city just looking stunning today. What a great Veterans Day. As we go into tonight, it'll be chilly again. So again, just prime conditions for snowmaking. It is 62 degrees in Chula Vista. Sunset was at 4:50, and as we go hour by hour, you can see clear sky is expected to continue in San Diego. Then we get into the overnight hours, and then we start to see a couple of 40s. It'll be cold out there tomorrow morning, so just be ready. Right now, it is 62 degrees in Coronado, Oceanside, 64 in El Cajon, 57 in Ramona. Looking ahead, it'll be breezy by the end of the day tomorrow as the onshore flow starts to pick up, becoming breezy on Sunday, especially over the mountains and deserts where the winds will become gusty actually for the second half of the weekend. And then we head into next week, and we'll be looking at a high pressure system, drier air, those winds turning out of the east, and that is going to bring the numbers up. So we're going to see some fluctuation. Overall, the trend continues to be below average, which is helping some parts of California, right? 67 degrees tomorrow, low 60s on Sunday. It'll be cooler for the second half of the weekend, but we start to see those temperatures moderating next week. Overnight lows, once again, dipping down into the 30s in Ramona, around 36 by tomorrow morning. So if you're waking up early, and if not, that cold air probably waking you up. 36 degrees, Julian, 45 in Alpine, 49 degrees in Carlsbad, and 46 in Kearney Mesa. Just cold all around the county, but by the afternoon it gets better. We could see a couple of 70s once again. The overall trend will be mid 60s around the inland communities. Our coast, 65 degrees for tomorrow, mostly sunny. Next week we'll be looking at temperatures around 69 degrees. So as high pressure develops and gets stronger, then we start to see those numbers inching closer to 70. Before that happens, we'll be cooling down on Sunday, Monday 68 degrees. Next week looking at those 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Those will be the warmest days of our 7-day forecast. Mountains, you're going to become gusty on Sunday. Wind gusts could be between 30-40 miles per hour, so not terribly strong, but just enough to make it feel even colder, especially as temperatures stay in the 40s during the day and even colder at nighttime. In the deserts, look at that. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. Just a great looking forecast. Great weather this weekend. Make sure to enjoy it. Lindsay?
Definitely. Thank you, Angelica. Let's go ahead and get a check of time saver traffic on this Friday afternoon. This is the camera at the 15 at Del Lago. Looks like it's moving along nicely, both southbound and northbound right now.
We are here at VFW Post 7420 in Barrio Logan, talking to a lot of the veterans, hearing their stories, and they all have very impressive stories. We're going to hear from them here in a little bit, but I want to get you caught up on some other headlines. Today and tomorrow, the Helen Woodward Animal Center is hosting an adoption event for military families. Here's a look at some of those animals up for adoption. So cute. Families who adopt an animal will get their adoption fees covered thanks to the nonprofit Animals for Armed Forces Foundation. Military families will have to pay a $35 microchip fee. The Helen Woodward Animal Center is open until 6 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, we can't get over those animals. They are adorable. Thank you, Wale. Well, stimulating the mind and heart. Coming up, we'll introduce you to a local high school student who's using her love of reading to help seniors battling dementia.
Skycam Views, sponsored by Carlsbad Solar.
In her quest to help her grandmother, who has Alzheimer's, a local student came up with a way to connect to other seniors as well.
And ABC 10 News anchor Virginia Cha introduces us to the high school student who launched a book club as a way to stimulate the mind and the heart.
The 11th apartment had only one closet.
It's hard to believe, but Westview High School senior Jessica Ong, who came to the U.S. from Thailand at age 7, says reading didn't come easily to her.
I learned Thai before I learned English, and so I kind of have that experience of that my grandma has of trying to find words and it's not coming out the way I want it to.
Jessica's grandmother, who lives in Thailand, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 2 years ago.
And that's why I wanted to read with her, because I knew that the words were already on the page and we could experience that together.
The seed that started as reading with her grandma Yai blossomed into the San Diego Seniors Book Club.
That was kind of the moment of inspiration where I knew that I needed to do something about it, because these seniors don't have a lot of time to be waiting around.
I was fascinated.
More than 100 seniors, some fighting dementia, have benefited from the club inspired by Jessica's grandmother, including here at the Ed Brown Center for Active Adults in Rancho Bernardo. Jessica says one thing she never expected is how much the discussions would help her mind.
What kinds of things do you think you've learned from the seniors?
I walk out of the sessions like having my mind completely filled. I learned so much about history. I've learned about like 70s cannabis culture and like homophobia in the 80s, things that I've never thought about before.
I met Jessica at the Rancho Penasquitos Library.
So this place is special to you?
Yes, I live around here and I come here almost every day.
A place where she can look at the books the seniors choose to read as part of her club, which is both in person and virtual.
Does your grandmother understand what you're doing?
I don't think so, but I think she knows that in the stuff I do, I love her and I'm trying to show her through my actions.
Actions that speak louder than words.
I hope that